Hi, I'm Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of RegAlytics. The new year is in full swing as the legislatures go into session, and this week we had 27,164 alerts. 4,693 of those are introduced bills. I do find the next 4 to 6 weeks of the year to be a fascinating pulse of what's going on in the mind of America. The regulator of the week is Missouri. The Missouri legislature had quite an interesting line of topics they're addressing that happened to catch my eye. Of course, they also happened to propose a whopping 1,547 bills this week, from defining a sex act to gender neutrality, and then rules for dispensing contraceptives and engaging in adult cabaret. There were a lot of personal freedom rules coming out, but the few that caught my eye included: 1, a rule about using drones and unmanned aircraft for surveillance purposes by law enforcement; 2, a rule against testing, adoption, or implementation of a central bank digital currency of any kind; 3, another rule prohibiting any government agency in Missouri to accept or require payment using a central bank digital currency; 4, a proposal to create a joint committee on legal tender, which would look into the possibility of issuing gold and silver coinage. And then the most interesting is one having to do with estate planning, including rules about electronic wills, remote estate planning and notarization, and also what the situation will be in terms of disclosure of digital assets in the estate. The topic of the week across the 50 states continues to be artificial intelligence. New York, Washington, Indiana, and Virginia have joined Wisconsin, Connecticut, and Illinois by now proposing an artificial intelligence task force. So this is how it works, folks. You have an emerging topic, and it goes from talk, 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 speech, 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 to a task force. Then the task force makes recommendations, and then you have a proposed rule, and then the rule eventually becomes a real rule, and then enforcement gets started. So where is artificial intelligence? It's still in the early stages of shaping, but it is slowly going past talk. Most of the laws being proposed have to do with transparency and disclosure. For example, New York proposed 2 bills, one applying to any newspaper, magazine, or publication, and any book publisher, that where they sell something that uses generative AI to create it, that fact must be identifiable and prominently displayed. Virginia is proposing new rules about generative AI and machine learning by usage by law enforcement officials. California is proposing that the state can't enter any contracts with AI vendors unless the AI vendors meet certain official safety, privacy, and non-discrimination standards. And then Florida, interestingly, is proposing a rule that would make an exemption from public record of any AI investigation by the state. I wonder what's driving that. I'll certainly be looking into the fiscal notes when they come out. But it's not only the states. The Federal Trade Commission is hosting a virtual summit on AI this month on the 25th, so attend if you want to be a part of the discussions. And also the Bank of International Settlements put out a really interesting study on large language models and included that while machines can perfectly interpret certain things, if you tweak it just a few parameters, it can go very wrong. So financial regulators need to be sure that their constituents are not handing the keys to the machine without some serious checks and safety measures in place. What else do you need to know this week? The FTC is super focused on automobile sales and hidden fees for the second week in a row. Also, everyone is super stressed out about the Houthi attacks going on in the Red Sea. 44 countries signed a UN declaration against these acts. Apparently 15% of global seaborne trade passes through the Red Sea, including 8% of the global grain trade, 12% of oil, and 8% of natural gas. So hopefully we can get the pirates under control. And it's amazing how in this world so much changes, but so much of it is also the same stuff that has been going on since the beginning of time. pirates on the high seas. And that's it this week for RegAlytics. We have the global supply chain of the world's regulatory alerts in one very easy to use place. And if you need a solution for anything related to regulation, give us a call.